Good evening, campers, and welcome aboard the Starship Nightwish. I'm Commander Exorcist, and normally on a Tuesday night, I'd be doing Taco Tuesday, where I'd grab a Galnet article and read it and talk about it, but we didn't get a Galnet article this week. But we got something a little more interesting. We actually got a press release today from Frontier, and it covers a lot of stuff. Barely. We're going to talk about that. But that is today's video. And so I'm going to go through the press release article that was released today. And it's an interesting approach to things coming up, kind of, I guess, celebrating the 10th anniversary of Elite Dangerous. Now, I can say as a partner in this with Frontier for this game, I'm very excited and appreciative of that opportunity. And one of the things that comes with being a partner is getting early access to things. So we get access to things just a little bit early so that we're prepared to share information with you, our viewers, about what's coming. And so it gives us an opportunity to look at what Frontier's planning, what they're going to announce, and then we can kind of talk about it and share that information. And normally there's a good amount of time for us to, get the information, kind of digest it, and I develop my own opinions about it and talk about it, share kind of from my perspective how I think things are going to go. With this one, I got this message. We got this press release as a preview shortly after I got to work this morning in America, and then it went live roughly 2 hours later. So, kudos to the partners that were able to put something together that quickly, had the opportunity to do it, because a few of them did, and they did a great job with it. But there just wasn't enough time from that period to when the article went live for me to do anything. So we're about 9 hours or so late from the release. But in my opinion, that gives me an opportunity to kind of approach this from a different view. And so I've had an opportunity to kind of digest the information we received throughout the day. I'll say that nothing I'm about to talk about is a spoiler. This stuff is readily available. It's on the EliteDangerous.com website. It's on all the social media posts. So there is nothing in this that is a secret. So some of it might get your blood boiling, but it's not a secret. So, and I'm just going to kind of go through the article. We're going to read it. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, and then I'm going to give you my perspective of what I think is happening with some of this stuff and what it means for us going forward. I'll give you my personal opinion on whether I think it's good or bad. I don't like some of the stuff that's being announced. I like some of it. So I'm kind of in the middle. I wish I could pick an extreme and say I absolutely despise this or I love this, but I don't. I kind of read this with a sense of dread and apathy and some hope. So, I had kind of like the gambit of emotions going through this article. So we're going to look at it. We're going to actually jump forward here. And so we got an update today about gameplay additions and some stuff that is coming in the future to Elite, primarily with the PowerPoint. Now, as you know, they showed some of the station changes for PowerPoint in the recent presentation. As of the recording of this video, tomorrow they're supposed to have Frontier Unlocked, and Arthur Tolmie had teased on Twitter about an interview coming up with one of the designers talking about how PowerPlay affects, the larger galaxy and us being able to see what's going on. So they're talking here about PowerPlay 2.0 coming in the months. Confident the rework not only allow people to pledge and engage with their chosen power, but visually see the impact. We've seen that kind of in the previews. This next one is really interesting. I wish they had expanded on this, because of all the stuff that they talk about, this is probably the one I want the most. In addition, we will also be making some balancing changes to engineering. Our focus will be on making engineering more accessible and predictable, allowing you to focus on your ship build rather than the materials needed. As stated in the past, we have another brand new feature coming to Elite Dangerous later this year. We still don't know what that is. A lot of people think it's going to be base building. I don't know how that would work, but it'd be fine if it was. Well, let's talk engineering for just a moment. So engineering is one of those necessary evils in Elite Dangerous. If you want your ship to do anything reasonable, you need to engineer it. At least your FSD to be able to go far. It is a chore. It really is. After all these years, even knowing tricks of where to go and get materials, it's still a chore because the way the materials are worked, they're so far out of balance. If you have 10 different materials that you need for an upgrade, you will get 9 of them no problem. The 9th one might be a little difficult to find, but that 10th engineering material that you need, most likely it's going to require some kind of weird trick, like finding a special POI on a planetary surface and relog, like with settlement defense plans and stuff like that for upgrading your suits and your guns. It's a chore, and so a lot of people don't even engage with it. They do the bare minimum. I'd love to be able to engineer some of my ship parts, but I just don't have the interest to go around and pick up a lot of these materials. So this right here, it says that it looks like they're balancing the material output. That would be awesome. Like if I did not have to wonder what kind of weird trick I have to come up with to get the 10th piece that I need to upgrade my weapon or whatever, that's welcome. We'll take it. So that's exciting. I'm actually really excited about engineering. At this point, engineering is so bad that any fix, anything that adds more materials or makes it just a little bit easier for folks would be welcome. Engineering is something that really, really discourages new players and old players. Like, I'm discouraged by it. I don't like building new ships because I don't want to have to go through finding all the materials. It's just really annoying. So seeing some changes to engineering, that is such a welcome change. I will take engineering changes all day long. Now, moving on, game store and prices. Over the past few years, many of you have identified that the store has become hard to navigate, and that it is difficult to find the content that you really want. With this in mind, we will be refreshing the store to provide a better experience for our players. Starting in May 2024, you will notice a change to how we approach the game store, which will include ARCs price adjustments for some of the cosmetic items, alongside new product types, which are detailed below. Players will continue to be able to earn ARCs in-game by playing Elite Dangerous daily or by contributing to events in the game. So the way that we earn ARCs today is not going to change. What's going to change is the store, and the store is definitely going to change. Now, I don't have any issues with the Elite Dangerous store, the cosmetic store. I don't mind it. It is a little cumbersome, but I mean, websites today are just so poorly designed kind of over in general that I guess I'm just kind of used to it. I don't mind it, but they're really refreshing this because they're adding new product types. So we're going to talk about those product types here in a moment. The refresh, yes, they're going to make it easier for people to find the things they're looking for, which is good. It's kind of like a pseudo interface from the game that's been moved into the web-based onto the web, and so it kind of works, but it kind of doesn't. And so they're going to redo the store, which is great. So one of the things that you'll see about this press release and about everything they're talking about, minus the engineering, is focused on the store. Okay, there's a heavy emphasis on getting people to spend ARCs, purchase ARCs, and interface with the Elite Dangerous store. So this is a revenue push, is what this is. As somebody who really loves the game and wants to support the game, I'm all about this. I like to see them making these items more accessible and making more of them available. Please, there's things that come and go that we really want that are available for like a week or so, and they're gone. And so they're actually going to work on that too. However, before we get to that part, we're going to talk about probably the piece that has people grinding their teeth the most: ship variants. Now, I've actually heard this talked about in the past as a possibility. Sometimes it was part of a joke, sometimes it wasn't, but it has become a reality. My friends, very soon you're going to be able to buy ships on the store. We'll talk about that in a moment. But ship variants, let's start with the Python Mark II. So we're excited to bring ship variants to Elite throughout the year and are looking forward to seeing how you make use of each one of them. So we're talking about the Python now. Starting with the Python Mark II, we are pleased to announce that it will be available in-game for Odyssey players on 7 August for credits and shipyards across the galaxy. So it will become available in-game like any other ship on 7 August to Odyssey players. However, if you cannot wait until you get that 3-month early access if you want, you can buy the ship on 7 May for 16,250 ARCs. 16,250 ARCs. Let me say that again. 16,250 ARCs. I probably said it wrong 4 times because, wow. So when I was reading all of this, it's kind of like, oh, cool. They're doing engineering. Oh, they're refreshing the store. That's not. And I saw this and I'm like, whoa, full stop. What is this? What is going on here? So you're going to see the words. You'll see it all over. It's out there now because it's pay to win. Pay to win. Pay. It's early access blocked behind ARCs for a new ship. So this is a huge departure for Frontier with Elite Dangerous. Huge departure. And let me go on real quick just to finish this out. Non-Odyssey owners will be able to access ship variants from the store for ARCs. So let's talk about that last one real quick, and then I'll go back to the top. It looks like people who play Legacy will be able to have the ship variants, but they won't be accessible by default. Like, you'll have to pay ARCs to unlock them. That's what's going on up here on the top. So there's been some questions, and there were some questions asked on social media. Unfortunately, Elite Dangerous, they actually reached out and responded to folks. So the way this works is, the Python Mark II is going to be released on 7 August. That's when it's going to be available for everyone. You go to the starport, pay your credits, buy your ship. If you want 3-month early access starting on 7 May, you can pay the 16,000 ARCs. And what happens is it unlocks the ship early. You're not paying for one ship. If you blow it up, you're not losing it. All you're doing is unlocking the ship early, so it will appear in starports as it should 3 months earlier than everybody else. So I want to talk about that real quick because that's been a kind of a sore subject. I am not a fan of paywalling things like this. I'm not. I don't support it. If somebody said, hey, do you think you should do this? Absolutely not. I do not encourage people to pay 16,000 ARCs to fly a ship 3 months early. I don't encourage it, and I never will. If you choose to do that, more power to you. That's your personal choice. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna disparage anybody. I'm just gonna say that my personal opinion is, if you ask me, should you do this? Absolutely not. For 2 reasons. The first reason is the thing's going to be available in August. Be patient, and you won't have to pay like roughly $20-$30 for the thing to fly it 3 months early. Okay, you could spend those 16,000 ARCs on other cosmetics. Get you a Thargoid bobblehead or something like that. Get you some lights or a paint job or whatever. And the second part is that encourages this kind of behavior, because if they do this now and everybody buys it, they're going to be like, oh, hey, this worked, and they're going to start doing it more. So with the ship variants and the paywall thing, Exorcist does not approve. Not happening. I won't be buying one early. I don't plan to purchase one. I'm just saying that if you want to, go right ahead. This is how it works. So when you buy it, it unlocks the ship capability in your game. So it's not like you're buying one of them. You're buying the capability to purchase this thing over and over again. You're just unlocking a feature that's eventually coming anyway for free for people who are already playing. If you want to be early, if you've got the FOMO, go for it. But I will not recommend that at all. I'm kind of impressed and happy that they're giving a little bit of love to some Legacy folks being able to access the ship variants. It doesn't say how many ARCs, but I'm afraid that it might be somewhere upwards of 16 for each one of those as well. And that's a pretty hefty price. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I would think. So, but definitely we will get the Python Mark II on 7 August. The last thing I want to say about the Python Mark II and this is timeline. This is an interesting timeline. 7 August is way deep into the year. We were told we're getting 4 new ships. 7 August is way deep in the year for us not to have heard anything about the other 3 ships. We've heard nothing. Not a concept art, not a name. We don't even know what ships are coming. And so to say that it's coming 7 August, I wonder, is it coming with more ships? Is maybe there'll be a surprise. We'll get the Python Mark II and the Anaconda Mark II Electric Boogaloo. Who knows? But yeah, it's really interesting. And again, this one is one you're just going to have to take, and we're just going to have to deal with. If somebody buys it, fine, that's their choice. There's nobody forcing people to buy this. There's no real bonus to it other than bragging rights to say that you were the first to fly one of these things, and nobody cares at the end of the day. Nobody can remember who even flew an Anaconda the first time, so it doesn't matter. But if you want it, go for it. Personal preference, that's fine. But I absolutely don't recommend it. Cosmetic items. I like this part. This is exciting because, as I had said earlier in the video, there are cosmetics that are sold that come and go, and a lot of us don't get a chance to buy these things, like the Midnight Black, the Stygian, all those things. Well, they're coming to the store permanently, so you're going to be able to buy Midnight Black, awesome, all the time. That is a super cool paint job for your ships, and so a bestseller section is going to be added. Some of the most popular items for commanders to purchase: Midnight Black, Stygian, and Chromed all year round. That's freaking cool. We will continue to add to the store throughout the year with that same focus on items that players care the most about. Hopefully that includes some of the holiday helmets, like the cat and the other things that are out there. But this is cool, and like I said, this is more focused on the store. It's getting people to get out there, purchase cosmetics, and spend arcs, and invest in the game. None of this stuff improves your piloting skills. You can have a Midnight Black crate and still crash into the ground just as you would if you had tactical ice on it. Okay, you spending arcs to buy a ship, or you spending arcs to buy a paint job doesn't make you good at flying the thing. So, it's good to pay to invest back into a live service game like Elite Dangerous with stuff like this. So I totally support the cosmetics. Now, let's go ahead, and I jumped a little bit ahead. I think I got a little bit ahead of myself earlier when I was talking about ship variants. Let's talk about the last source for the latest salt mine. We've got pre-built ships. So we're also going to be introducing a new category in the Elite Dangerous game store: pre-built ships. Pre-built ship packages will offer commanders the opportunity to purchase ships that have been given a significant upgrade from their base models. We envision these pre-built ships would be a quicker way for newer players to get involved in the areas they are most interested in, or for our existing players who are considering a new career path in-game but do not have the time to devote for a new build from scratch. A pre-built ship package will include instant access to a pre-fitted ship, a ship kit, and a paint job, and will typically be themed to match an activity in-game. For example, if you're looking to jump into the current AX conflict against the Titans, the AX Combat Jumpstart package will be given instant access to an Alliance Chieftain — I wonder who came up with that idea, Arthur — with all the necessary modules to go straight into the action within the Maelstrom. The Python Mark II will also launch with a pre-built ship package, allowing you to kickstart your career in the latest ship, including a brand new paint job and ship kit. Okay, so this is a point of contention for a lot of folks. Personally, I'm fine with it. I really am. And so I think it's a good thing. However, with a asterisk by it. So basically what we're going to get are ships that are already built and module fitted, paint job fitted, ship kit fitted, ready to go for whatever activity it is that you're looking for. So I would assume there's an exploration build. I would assume that there's a pirate build, cargo haul, or whatever, some of the main activities that occur in the game pre-built. If, let's say, you get, I think most of them come, they're E-rated. I think most of the like the basic ships, if you got like an E-rated Anaconda, maybe you can go to the ARC store and buy an A-rated Anaconda. I would be totally fine with that. Where I would have an issue with this is if it started to offer things like pre-engineered modules, or special weapons that you could only get if you purchase it with this ship kit. That is a big no-no. But if it's just like the basic modules and it's like somebody took, a Coriolis build and put it together and stuck it on the ARC store, I'm totally fine with that. And the reason being is that this is totally a choice. And if somebody wants to go out and buy this stuff, that's fine. Just because you buy an A-rated Anaconda doesn't mean you know how to fly the thing, or you don't know how to use it. Just because you buy an Alliance Chieftain and you're ready to go into the Maelstrom, let's see you bounce off of the Thargoid Pulse a couple of times. Just owning the technology doesn't mean that people know how to use them. And so, but it lets people bypass a lot of the things that folks have been complaining about for years. The grind is terrible. The grind is this and this and that. It's just this constant complaining. Well, now you're getting an engineering revamp. And then you're going to get the ability to purchase a ship that's mostly fitted to go do whatever it is that you'd like to do, eliminating all that grind and letting folks jump into the action and be a part of the community instead of kind of sitting off to the side and having to hunt down Discord servers and forum posts that are 5 years old, trying to find ways that they can engineer their current ship so they can jump into the Maelstrom, or they can do this or they can do that and be part of what's going on in the game. This is a good thing. I like this. It's not, and now... And again, I like it with the caveat that there needs to be restrictions on it. I don't think it's fair to say that paying for pre-built ships or anything like that is pay to win. You can't win in Elite Dangerous. You can't win. You can win a conflict zone. You can win a match against another ship, but winning the game is just not there. And so, again, ownership doesn't equal competency when it comes to this kind of stuff. So... It's a really fine line that Frontier is walking with this. So they're going to do pre-built ship packages. So we've got engineering revamp. We've got PowerPlay 2.0 coming. We've got the cosmetic store being redone. We've got new cosmetics coming, as well as the seasonal cosmetics are now going to be available all the time. The Python is going to be released on 7 August, but if you've got FOMO, you can buy it for 16,000 ARCs. Please don't do that. But if you do, that's fine. Just please don't do that. And pre-built ship kits. It is a really interesting change in the way that Frontier is looking at Elite. And so you have to consider that this is a 10-year-old game. This is a 10-year-old live service game. And, you purchase it. I've purchased several copies of this game, but there has to be a revenue stream coming in to maintain the game. And that is the ARC store. That is the cosmetics. All of those things contribute to keeping the game alive. And so you really have to look at it from that perspective. And so what we're seeing here, I think, is really a commitment to the future of the game in a way through this kind of work. I know not everyone's gonna agree with me. It's really kind of what I've come up with. I think I don't agree with some of this stuff. I don't think people should be paying ARCs for early access to ships. There's no reason that you should have to buy a ship like this via ARCs. If you want to, I have no problem with it being an option. But if it becomes a mandatory thing, like if the Chieftain comes with some kind of souped up engineered weapon and it's only available in the ARC store, that's a major foul that we got to talk about as a community. Right now, we don't see anything like that. And so I think we're going to have to be patient and see what happens. Well, we've got an interview tomorrow. We've got Frontier Unlocked coming up. and we're going to find out a little bit more about PowerPlay, and I think we'll see kind of how this ship fits into PowerPlay and some of the things that they're planning for the Galaxy. But in the meantime, I just think we'll just kind of chill and see what's going on and see how it works. There are people out there that are already planning to purchase the Python early. Go for it. I won't be doing that. I won't be purchasing one for sure. I'm perfectly content to wait till the thing comes out. But, again, having all this stuff as an option, it's always been an option. Paint jobs and lettering and decals, all that stuff, it's always been an option. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with optional stuff. But when we start making it mandatory, that's a very dangerous pathway to go down. Fortunately, Frontier has not gone down that route at the moment, so there's really nothing to address for now. So, hey everybody, these are the disciples. These are the folks that keep the channel going. Thank you for your support. If you would like to support the work that I do here and across all of my social media, go to patreon.com/Commander Exorcist. I would love to have you. I do special videos, behind the scenes, early access, and just kind of monthly updates, so you get to see kind of what's coming, what to expect, where we've been, and where we're going. It's been quite a day. It really has. Forget everything that you know about Elite Dangerous. I have a feeling that this is the start of something new. I hope it's good. It's getting a mixed reaction. I get that we're in an era where there are people that really panic about stuff like this. I tend to as well, so I'm trying to be calm about it and take it kind of in a medium balance. I'm okay with these things as long as they remain optional, but the minute they are made, like a mandatory to gain something, we're going to have a talk. We really are. But for the meantime, we took down Oya. I have a video on Oya if you want to go check that out and see the final minutes of that Titan. We've taken down 3 of them. I think we're moving on Hadad next. So there are plenty of dad jokes on the way with that one. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me tonight. I'm Commander Exorcist. Take care, fly safe, and I will see you out there. Good night, everybody.